Today, we're diving into the really serious issue of elder fraud, but we're going to look at it from an angle you probably haven't thought much about: the daily trip to the mailbox. We're going to show you how one of the biggest threats to your loved one's financial security can arrive with just a postage stamp, and, more importantly, how you can put a stop to it.
Just look at that number for a second. $36 billion. That's not some company's valuation or a government budget. Nope. That's the staggering amount of money lost to elder financial abuse every single year. It's a crisis happening quietly in homes all over the country. So, what if I told you that a major gateway for all this fraud isn't some super sophisticated cyber attack, but something way more ordinary? What if the key to protecting your family's savings is literally hiding in plain sight, right inside their mailbox?
And let's be really clear, this isn't some rare thing that happens to a few people. We're talking about almost 4 out of every 10 older adults getting victimized. And you know what's really surprising? It's not always who you'd think. In fact, younger, more educated seniors often lose even more money, probably because they have more to lose in the first place. This is a huge and very sophisticated threat.
Okay, let's get right into it. We really need to completely change how we think about junk mail. It's time to stop seeing it as just, an annoyance and start seeing it for what it truly is: a serious security risk for the people we love.
This slide just nails the shift in perspective we need to have. On the left, that's how most of us see junk mail. It's just clutter, right? A full recycling bin. But on the right, that's the reality for a vulnerable senior. That pile of mail isn't just annoying. Every single piece is a potential door for a scammer, putting their entire life savings at risk and causing a ton of daily anxiety.
So, here's the deal with how this system works. Junk mail isn't random. Every letter, every fake sweepstakes, every tricky offer, it all confirms one thing: that your loved one's name and address are on a direct marketing list. And these lists, well, they're gold. They get bought and sold, and they often end up in the hands of scammers who are just looking for their next target.
Man, this quote from a caregiver is just absolutely heartbreaking, and it captures the problem perfectly. $30,000 gone. All because their parents came from a generation where you trusted what came in the mail. It's just a painful reminder of how these deceptive mailings can drain a lifetime of savings.
But here is the good news. Now that we understand the threat, we can talk about the solution. And it's a powerful one. We're going to shift from a place of just worrying to a place of action, because there is absolutely something you can do right now to build a really strong first line of defense.
This right here, this is the whole strategy. The goal isn't just to have a cleaner countertop. The goal is to cut the scammers off at the source. By just reducing the sheer amount of this junk mail, you drastically shrink the number of chances a scammer even has to reach your loved one.
It really is that simple. I mean, think about it. You can't control every scam call or phishing email that comes through, but you can take control of that physical mailbox. This is honestly one of the most direct and high-impact things a caregiver can do to immediately make their loved ones safer.
So how do we actually do it? Let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through a clear 4-step action plan. This is your roadmap to taking back the mailbox.
I love this image because it says it all. Our goal is to turn off the faucet. We're not just trying to mop up the flood of junk mail every day. We want to stop it from ever reaching the front door in the first place. This is all about being proactive, not reactive. All right, here are the 4 key areas we're going to focus on. We'll hit the big, broad marketing lists first. Then we'll go after those relentless pre-approved credit and insurance offers. After that, specific catalogs. And finally, we'll even touch on telemarketing, since a lot of these lists are connected. Okay, this table right here. This is your toolkit. So let's walk through it. First up, DMAChoice.org. This is your #1 tool, hands down. It stops mail from companies your loved one has never even heard of. It does have a small fee, usually just a few bucks, but it is so worth it. Second, optoutprescreen.com. This one is super important because it specifically targets those pre-approved credit card and insurance offers. Now, a big heads up here. The site is legitimate, but it is going to ask for a social security number. I know that sounds a little scary, but it's required so they can verify identity with the credit bureaus. Third, we've got catalogchoice.org, which is this fantastic free nonprofit service that lets you zap specific catalogs you don't want. And finally, Infocision. This is one of the biggest telemarketing firms out there. By opting out with them, you can get your loved one off a major list, which helps cut down on both junk mail and those annoying sales calls. Now, here's a really crucial piece of advice. This stuff takes time. A lot of these companies plan their mailings months ahead of time, so you're not going to see results overnight. You've got to figure it'll take about 3 months to really see a big difference. So please, be patient and stick with it. It will work.
And I really want to highlight this one tool, especially for caregivers. That DMAChoice service has something called a deceased do not contact list. Using this helps stop those incredibly painful mail reminders from showing up after a loved one has passed. And just as importantly, it's a critical step in preventing their identity from being stolen.
So, as we wrap up, let's just remember why we're doing all this. This action plan isn't just another chore to check off a list. It's about something much bigger. It's about protecting your loved one's well-being and, honestly, your whole family's peace of mind.
When it comes down to it, by taking these steps, yeah, you're protecting their money, but you're doing so much more. You're cutting down on the daily anxiety that a huge confusing pile of mail can cause. You're removing the triggers for frustration. You're empowering them to live more safely, and you're bringing this incredible peace of mind to everyone in the family.
Taking control of the mailbox is a real, powerful act of care. You're creating a safer environment and building a crucial defense against people who would try to exploit them. So, looking at the plan we just went over, my question to you is, which step are you going to take first?